Hello, and welcome to episode 4 of TimeSplitters 2 Facts and Glitches. This time, we are going to be looking into Atom Smasher and Aztec ruins, as well as backtracking to Wild West and Chicago. First, there is an invisible hole in the floor on the section below the time portal, which you can fall through. You can also use this to kill the Colonel, but his health bar will not disappear. Now, on to Atom Smasher. The scientists may have degrees in atom technology, but can only remember how to defuse one bomb. They are also surprisingly burn resistant and suffer no trauma after being set on fire. Onto some more interesting checkpoint behavior. If you turn off the gas for the pipe spewing fire, wait for the wheel to stop turning, then hit the checkpoint, the fire will be off at every restart. But if you trigger the checkpoint before the wheel is finished turning, the fire will be on at every restart and you'll have to turn it off every time. Even though the fire spewing from the pipe does not physically touch the debris to the side of it, the fire is unable to be put out. You can juke the snipers in Atom Smasher by peeking them and quickly ducking behind cover. For some reason, they will try to shoot you, even though you are not visible to them. All crate walls in Atom Smasher are thinner than toilet paper in public bathrooms, so explosions will go right through them. Interestingly though, the back of the crates is somehow explosion proof. If you are zoomed in with a sniper rifle and swap directly to the dual pistol, you will no longer have sway so long as you hold down ADS. This will fix itself as soon as you let go of ADS. On easy difficulty, it is possible to take care of the crane bomb without turning off the steam. This requires either full health or near full health and some armor. The crane in the bomb room is controlled by a camera, which you can see if you crouch at the right side of the computer terminal. Oddly, if you shoot this camera, the crane will become inoperable. If you kill the dark henchman patrolling the upper portion of the walkway fast enough, one of the guards will attempt to inspect his body. This will cause him to open the big circle door even though he doesn't hit the button. We call this glitch, and all similar to it, the master key glitch. You do not have to turn on the sprinkler system to get past the on-fire computers. Just hug the right wall and you'll be fine. Although the computers down the hall appear to be explosion proof, alongside the glass on the computers hanging from the ceiling. Lastly, there is also a fire sprinkler activation switch at the door leading out of this room. If you missed both fire sprinkler switches and happen to have some fire extinguisher ammo left over, you can opt to put the fire out using that instead. I did not know this, but you can actually stand on top of these big pipes. In the room before you fight Kalos, you can see the individual tiles by looking at how the shades change on each one. You can see that some have the textured cross look, while the others just have a plain regular look. If Kalos is too lethal and you want to take care of him quickly, place your remote mines around this corner and detonate them a second or two after you spawn the boss. This will spawn 2 Surge Splitters though, so you will have to train them backwards or fight them to get the switches. Enemy AI are unable to find the button to use the elevator in Atom Smasher. Next, I have a story on how to stop the bees from spawning in Aztec ruins. Step 1. Get to the first 2 Aztec dudes that spawn. Step 2. Restart. Step 3. Repeat steps 1 and 2 many times. Step 4. Profit. The bees will no longer spawn and you won't have to worry about them until you quit the level and reload it. The dancing monkeys move back ever so slightly doing their dance. This can cause them to fall off their platform and sometimes go out of bounds or glitch out. It is possible to kill the wood golems without fire arrows, but this requires many, many arrows, enough to where I needed the infinite ammo cheat to kill one. If you have ever killed one of these like this, let me know in the comments. This puzzle room makes literally 0 sense. Firstly, the pillars must weigh hundreds of pounds, meaning there is no way Captain Ash should be able to physically rotate them. Secondly, what the heck is controlling the door? How does it know when the correct code is in? Lastly, without a guide, I imagine most people got stuck here and brute forced the code, as there are 0 hints anywhere in game on what to do. This monkey has such a good backspin that he can throw the melon backwards. If you walk past the torch behind the circle door and backtrack to the puzzle room, there's another guard that spawns. Some of the plants in the level explode when set on fire. There is a cave under the Aztec bridge that leads to nowhere. This is possibly forward referencing Shangri-La and Black Ops 1 zombies. Apparently, someone swapped this locked door sound with the Siberian locked door sound when you pulled the switch to open the temple. Of all the sounds to make, they chose this one. Even though the pillars don't visually rotate, you can hear them make the rotating sound effect when you activate on them. Wait, let me pause this real quick. Listen. There's a random piece of flat high ground near the first area. Maybe a monkey used to be here throwing melons at you. When approaching the temple, you can hear the moment the left guard spawns by what sounds like an elevator falling. Now listen for the second guard. Listen, you'll hear where he spawns. Spawned. If you walk into a wall as you are falling, you will lose all non-downward momentum. We call this glitch instant drop. You can avoid being shot by this guard by touching the left wall, going back to the stairs, and then going back to the left wall. The monkey melons are explosive and can kill the golems if you time it right. All of the plates that open the trapdoors physically move down, but this one in particular only changes color to a lighter shade. We'll dive more into this plate in a second. You can sneak past these spikes by hugging the right wall. While this vintage rifle is useful, where did it come from? Captain Ash must have dropped it earlier through the roof. You can get behind the boulder that falls behind you by activating it and running backwards. On a side note, if you get stuck in front of the boulder in this spot, you will take massive damage. It is possible to take the stone golems from the last room all the way back to the first area where you kill the first set of 4 and kill them there instead. Remember that plate we discussed earlier that was a different color? It turns out you can be anywhere under the plate area and the trapdoor will open. This is the only plate in the level that this is actually possible with. All the others are out of bounds both above and below the plates. Using fly hacks, I can show you where player 2 is in relation to the plate by looking at the uplink. You can see a small red blip which is invisible player 2 due to them being in a different area. You can see that player 2 is directly below the plate where they were standing. You can also see that there is a spot in the previous room that can be used to open the plate as well. If there's too much AI on screen, some previously loaded AI will reset back to their spawn point. If the spawn point is not accessible, they will stand in place instead of resetting. If you liked the video, make sure to click that like button or else the TimeSplitters will come after you and steal your time crystals or something.